With everything else that is going on these days, it's certainly easy to miss some of the headlines concerning some of the smaller issues that impact the everyday lives of Americans. Topics like the kinds of food SNAP recipients should be able to buy, to obscure rules governing showerhead water pressure. So here with us now, NewsNation contributor and writer for popular lifestyle and culture sites, Bustle and Romper, Lindsay Granger. Lindsay, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you too, Nichole.
All right, so Lindsay, no secret that the Health Secretary, RFK Jr., wants to make some big changes to Americans' health, Americans' lifestyles. I'd like to listen to part of what he said. This was yesterday at the cabinet meeting.
Governors now in 24 states who are advancing MAHA legislation to get soda pops off of the food stamp program, off the SNAP program. We've launched Operation Stork Speed to get the bad chemicals out of baby formula. We're working with governors across the country to get good food into the school lunch programs and to get rid of food chemical dyes and other bad chemicals that are in our food. We've shown now that this directly affects academic performance, violence in the schools, and mental health, as well as physical health.
All right, so Lindsay, let's talk about one of the first things he said there. There is this talk of removing junk food from a federal food assistance program. On the one hand, junk food certainly doesn't serve any nutritional purpose, but on the other, there's the argument that just because a person is poor or unable to work, does that mean they don't get to snack on what they want? There are a lot of opinions on this, especially because SNAP, or food stamps, as it's more commonly known, serves more than 41 million Americans, Lindsay.
Yeah, I think the concept is something that has bipartisan support, just to make sure that Americans are more healthy. I think where it becomes problematic is starting with some people who are the least fortunate or experiencing temporary circumstances in our country and kind of pointing them out and say, you eat healthy. What RFK is doing is trying to overall get unhealthy things that we have dyes out of our food system, which is important to do. It's something that we should have done a long time ago, following the lead of other countries that don't even allow red dyes into their food, and also don't allow as much junk food or nonsense in their junk food. But I mean, to start with the SNAP program, these are Americans that are trying their best, maybe working 2 or multiple jobs, trying to get back on track. And then you're in the store grabbing what you can, let's say some of those processed noodles or something that's easy for your kid to make for themselves. And so you're putting them in a precarious situation when some people are just really trying to get through each 24 hours the best they can.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to switch topics. We're all over the place here. It's a sunny day here in Chicago, Lindsay.
It is.
I want to talk about daylight saving time. This is obviously not a pressing issue, but this is a topic that a lot of Americans have very strong feelings about. The Senate Commerce Committee held a hearing over this just yesterday, so I'd like to listen to some of that.
I think there is widespread agreement on locking the clock, but where to lock it, because I personally struggle with the two choices here, because it's a question of what do you care about more, sunshine and joy and fun and money, or health, mental health, physical health, and the honest answer for most people is, gosh, I care about all that stuff. So that's not an easy trade-off.
It is not an easy trade-off. All right, Lindsay, lawmakers for years have introduced bills to make daylight saving time permanent. As we can see, it's still yet to happen. Do you think this is going to be one of those never-ending battles?
It feels like we're in this circle that continues to keep us on the Ferris wheel. This happened in 2022, and what happened is probably what's going to happen again. The Senate passed this bill, and then the House killed it. And I think that's because there's like a 50-50 split in this country of what we want to do, right? Sleep experts say that this will mess up circadian rhythms and have people completely thrown off and waking up way earlier, meaning getting less sleep in their overall lifetime. But some people say, you know, daylight saving and allowing it to be longer, lighter, longer will allow people to play golf and have more fun, get that vitamin D from the sun and really enjoy themselves. And so I think there's like an argument. But at this point, I mean, it's been this way for so long. Why do we need to change this? And with all the issues that you said are at the top of the minds of Americans, particularly with the economy, some specific things regarding food like we just talked about, I don't know that people care at this exact moment about whether or not it stays lighter for another hour or not.
Exactly. All right. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.